When we originally started our Etsy shop, we were just selling things that we wanted for our own homes. So we would build them, take pictures of them, and then throw them up on our Etsy shop. And if somebody wanted it, we would build it over the weekend. My business partner had a playhouse in her backyard that wasn't very pretty. So same concept. We painted it and said, maybe somebody else wants one too. And they did. Once we recognized the traction and that lapse in the marketplace, we capitalized on it, right? What we always try to stress is running pre-sales. Once we gauge that reaction, that's when we can go back to the drawing board and work on pricing and work on cutting those costs because we know now the product's actually going to sell.
Hey there, I'm Kaylin Wood, and this is Money Matters for Moms, the show where busy moms turn overwhelm into abundance. Each week we'll talk side hustles, saving hacks, wealth tips, and some energy tips to help make it all stick. Real tools for real financial freedom. No ramen required.
Today I'm here with Juliana VanLaanen. Juliana is the CEO of Two Mama Bees, which manufactures eco-friendly playhouses and children's products. Juliana took a backyard Etsy shop to a big box provider in less than 2 years. Juliana, I'm so glad you're here.
Thank you so much for having me.
A lot of moms have some artistic talent and they think about starting an Etsy shop, but you actually did. So what got you to take that leap from making products to selling them online?
I think really the market told us that we should do it. When we originally started our Etsy shop, we were just selling window boxes and porch bed swings. It was things that we wanted for our own homes. So we would build them, put them up in our house, take pictures of them, and then throw them up on our Etsy shop. And if somebody wanted it, we would build it over the weekend. Just so happened that my business partner and best friend had a playhouse in her backyard that wasn't aesthetically very pretty. So same concept, we painted it and said, we have no idea how we'll ship this, but maybe somebody else wants one too. And they did. We were buying our competitors' playhouses once it scaled to that point by the semi-truckload, hand painting them in a warehouse for 14 to 16 hours. And then we would rub Vaseline on them so that the paper didn't stick to the paint, rebox them in the exact same box and mark them up almost $1,000. And we sold over 1,000 units. So we were like, hey, I guess there's a gap in the market because if people are willing to wipe Vaseline off of a product they just spent over $1,000 for, I'm pretty sure they're going to buy it when it doesn't have Vaseline all over it. Our core customers would be like, this is the most beautiful playhouse I've ever seen. The Vaseline was a little gross. So it went from her backyard to my backyard, one warehouse to two warehouses. And once we really recognized the traction and that lapse in the marketplace, we capitalized on it, right? So we went ahead and while continuing to paint and bring in semi-truck loads of our competitors' playhouses on the back end at night after we put our kids to bed, we were designing and creating our own line. And we launched in October of 2021.
That is amazing.
Thank you.
So you looked at what was available and you put it out to people to find out, do you want this or not?
Yeah, I think we even still do the same concept, right? So what we always try to stress is running pre-sales. I think there is a lot of times where people will think if I buy this bulk amount of inventory, I'm going to keep my costs low and it's going to be great. But then you could be sitting on inventory. You might have to sell it at cost or even a loss. So Samantha and I always go by small batch pre-sale. Sometimes we'll even pre-sale where we only capture the emails. We won't even take money. So we won't even technically be in full scale production during that kind of a pre-sale just to see what the market's reaction is to it. And once we gauge that reaction, that's when we can go back to the drawing board and work on pricing and work on cutting those costs because we know now the product's actually going to sell.
Absolutely. And you took this backyard Etsy shop and you turned it into full-scale manufacturing in less than 2 years. And you did it without spending any money on ads. How'd you do that?
I think we really primarily focused on when we did our first run, we said, we want to make sure that we have brand recognition. There's nothing proprietary about what we do, right? Anybody could go and build a white and black, beautiful playhouse. I mean, they couldn't build the exact same ones that we can, but they could build their own. And so when Samantha and I really focused that first year, it was all about gaining retail exposure. So getting in big box stores, getting in front of buyers, getting in retail space, because not only did that protect our brand from long-term proprietary implications, if you will, and other people coming in and kind of getting their foot in the door first, we've already now established those relationships. But on top of that, it created consumer trust because consumers already walk into these stores like Saks Fifth Avenue and they trust that they're going to have a luxury product. So when they're selling our product, that's able to make more brand traction for us where our consumers are already feeling like they can trust the product that they're purchasing.
That's brilliant because then you're not having to try to create that traction yourself, right?
That and I can't compete with Target for their ad spend. We're a small business just starting out in year one. I don't have Target's marketing budget. I don't know that I ever will, right? Like I could be in this business for 100 years and still not have as much money as Target. So if I don't have to spend it, if Target's spending it and Target's got a million different algorithms that they can play with to know that they're targeting the exact people that they need to target, then why would I not just let them do what they're really good at and I'll do what I'm really good at? And that is creating beautiful products that they want to sell.
And so tell me a little bit more about the playhouses themselves.
So a few things about our playhouses. We are not only American manufactured, we are manufactured in America by second generation Amish artisans. We are also sourced from managed forest in America, and we always give back more than we take. So we work with a company called American Forest, and they are a reforestation project in America. So our Rain two-story playhouse, for instance, takes roughly 1 tree to build. For every one sold, we replant 10 trees. And so on and so forth. So we're always making sure that the eco-consciousness is forward thought throughout our entire process. Another thing that really sets our brand apart is the craftsman quality. We create heirloom pieces. So you buy a swing set, you watch your kids play on it, and then one day you're going to watch your grandkids play on the exact same swing set. That's important to us. You know that you're getting craftsman quality just by the weight alone. So our Rain two-story playhouse weighs 535 pounds. Our competitors of the same size weighs 250 pounds. Another thing is that Samantha and I are moms. So that's my business partner. We have 8 children between the two of us, and we are always thinking through the eyes of the consumer. And one pain point that we know very well is assembly. It is daunting. You don't want to do it. You can't even imagine how long it's going to take. So our Rain two-story playhouse, again, which is our largest swing set, takes roughly 1.5 to 2.5 hours to assemble. Our competitors of the same size takes 8 to 10. So we went out of our way to take those pain points out so that the entire customer experience from conception to completion is beautiful, seamless, and that you are happy with the product and you don't look in your backyard and say, oh my gosh, I hate it. We're also known for our aesthetic. So we're a 9-time award-winning manufacturing company. We won Home and Garden's Most Beautiful Playhouse 2 years running. So aesthetic is very important to us. We want it to be a product that highlights and brings beauty to people's indoor, outdoor play space instead of taking it away. We don't want it to be the swing set that you have to put in the back corner because you really don't want anybody to look at it. We want it to be front and center. We want it to be something that not only you find beautiful, but that you want to engage in play. So our mission is to empower families through purposeful play. And so we do that by making sure that moms actually love looking at it too, right?
I have to tell you that the idea of moving from, I made this thing, everybody look at it and see, do you want one of these things, to where you are now, it seems a little like a Cinderella story. So do you think that this is something that other people can easily do?
Well, I would say don't make white and black swing sets because we've already captured that market. But yes, I say to my business partner a lot, our path is blessed. It's blessed, and there is a lot of hard work. When we were running our Etsy shop, we were working 14 to 16 hours a day, painting playhouses with no AC, hand painting them. And we were both pregnant at the time, too. We really put in the hard work to get our company to where it is. But I do think if you are able to find a void in the marketplace, if you are able to create a product that, stands out, and I do think, yes, I think there's space for everybody, right? And so if you're making quality products, I don't think it's so much Cinderella based. I think it's more or less if you want to put in the work and you have the ability to do it and you have the vision and you put the dedication behind it, 100% people could get exactly where we are today, right?
Can you tell us something funny that happened to you early in the process?
So, myself and my business partner in 2019, we gave birth to little girls. Rain and Aviana are their names, and all of our products are named after our own kids. So, you already heard the name Rain a couple times here. So, we were actually due 10 days apart, and I was watching over the warehouses, and I was also watching her kids. At the time, she had 3 other children. So I go waddling into the room to hold the baby after I've dropped all 6 of our kids at the time off at their respective schools. And I'm holding baby Rain, my goddaughter. And all of a sudden I feel contractions. And I say, Samantha, I think I'm going into labor. And she was like, you cannot go into labor. You're watching my children and all the warehouses. And I was like, I don't think I'm stopping it. And sure enough, I left that hospital, went to the hospital up the street, and we gave birth less than 13 hours apart. We call them our baby bees. And they were both in the warehouse. They were kind of raised in the warehouse with us, if you will. They would sit in the front of the warehouses with Samantha's husband and the nanny, and we would get call at the back and they'd say, Rain's up for feeding, and one of us would run up there to feed them. So it was ironic enough that they were that close together.
But that also shows that you can be like in the throes of motherhood and still be developing a business.
Yes, you can. Yes, you can. If we could get through that, we always say anything you throw at us now cannot be worse than sweating for 16 hours a day while 9 months pregnant in a warehouse. So bring it on.
Juliana, it's been great talking with you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for tuning in to Money Matters for Moms. I hope today's episode left you inspired to take one little step forward. Check out the resources in the show notes and share this with another mom who's ready to thrive. You've got this, because abundance is easier than you might think.